everyone. Welcome to Jackie Does Stuff. I'm Jackie and I do stuff. And today I'm going to be making garlic paste. So check it out. So, like so many things that I do here, I have never made garlic paste before, but my partner asked me to make it because we still had all of this garlic left. This is even after giving some away as gifts and everything. And this is hardneck garlic, so it's not going to keep forever. So we could just keep using it as fresh garlic, but you never know when it's going to go off, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better. So, but here I have some just regular kosher salt. I think I only needed like a teaspoon of it, so I just got a bowl out, and some neutral oil. So I used some canola oil. And then these are some silicone ice cube trays that I use for things like making, honestly, I use it to make like toilet bowl cleaners and stuff. You can just pop them right out and put them in a jar and everything. So this is what I'm going to use to make the paste. I'm going to, mix it all up, and then I'm going to put it in the ice cube trays to put in the freezer. And then once they are frozen, I'll just pop them out and put them in a bag or something, and then I can store them in the freezer until I'm ready to use them. You can do that with stock too. So here I've sped this way up. I finally got that tripod. You can kind of see it down there on the left-hand side. And I'm going to start by taking all of the bulbs of garlic and just taking the paper off, separating the cloves, and then putting the cloves with minimal paper, although as you can see, still has a lot of paper on it, into the bowl. And then after that, I'm going to take the individual cloves and then take the wrappings off of those, and then I can process the garlic cloves. Why am I doing it like that? I guess I could, take the paper off the bulb and then open up each of the cloves and just do it all in one step, one bulb at a time. But when you're working with garlic, it gets really sticky. It's like how Brad Leone used to say, it's a two-part epoxy, Vin. It gets really sticky, and so the paper will start to like stick to my fingers, and it just really starts to bother me. So that's just why I'm doing it like that. So then once all of the bulbs had all the paper and stuff taken off, I just went ahead and put all of the wrappings and stuff in the compost and then continued on to the next step. Well, I had to go and do something else in between. That's why the light changed a little bit. So now I've put all the cloves back into the basket, and I love that red purple color. I don't think I've ever seen that in like store-bought garlic, but all of the garlic that I grew had that color. I hope it doesn't mean it's like poisoned or something. But yeah, I think it's so beautiful to look at, and it smells so great. I didn't think that I liked garlic this much, but I guess I do. Maybe it's the Mediterranean in me. But yeah, I spend, it seems like this doesn't take that long, but honestly, this whole thing took hours to do. And that is kind of inconvenient, but at the same time, it's kind of nice. You know, it's kind of nice to just sit there and do this thing for, I mean, you know, it's just for garlic paste or whatnot, but we had to work really hard to get it. I think that's, it gives us a more hands-on, relationship with our food and the things that we eat and the things that we do, and I just think that that's really nice. Oh no. Okay. So this part, so while I was doing this, I had my headphones on and I was listening to an episode of a podcast. And that's why you can't hear anything in the previous videos, but my headphones died, and so I started listening to them in out loud. And that's why you hear that kind of chipmunk's voice over this clip. Sorry about that. I figured it was either leave that up for the duration of this clip or make it silent. I think I'm just gonna leave it up and see what people think. Yeah, sorry, that's a little embarrassing. But for the record, I was listening to an episode of a podcast called Knowledge Fight. So if you're interested in podcasts, definitely check them out. Big fan. Loved them for years. Let's see how this goes. So as you can see, we're almost done here, but the last video for some reason got corrupted again, so we're just going to cut right to the end bit. So at this point, I've taken all of the garlic, and I really should have probably like weighed it or something, but I put it directly into my Ninja blender, and then I bring it over and I spend a little while figuring out what I want to do, and I just kind of pulsed it a little bit to break it up. And then the recipe says at this point to add about a 1/4 cup of the oil and about a teaspoon of salt. But I kind of just eyeballed the oil because I figure that this is not, the oil is really more a means to an end rather than bringing anything to the party on its own. So I just decided to use like a minimal amount and then kind of see what happens. So I put it on for paste, the paste setting of my blender, and then I scraped down the sides because there were visible huge chunks of unprocessed garlic, and add a little bit of oil and then put it back on. And then I ran it through the paste setting again. I found that I like to kind of just do the thing once. I don't know why, but whenever it doesn't work, to just run the same setting again a second time usually brings it to about where I want it to go. So I did the paste setting twice, and that is what I ended up with right there. I put aside the blade and other things that the garlic paste has touched because I really want to we worked so hard on getting this that we really want to get as much out of there as possible. We really don't want to waste any of it. So I filled up one entire ice cube tray, and then I did eventually fill up this second one, but it took a little while. I had to scrape down the sides of the blender. I scraped off the spoon and the blade, and I really, really went for it. And I was able to get out 2.5 ice cube trays in total. Blah, blah, blah. So at that point, I just popped them straight into the freezer. I prepared a spot ahead of time. And they really only need to be in the freezer for a couple of hours at the most. I think I left them in there for a night or two. And then you just, once they're frozen, you can just take them out, put them in a bag, and you can use them for whatever you want. And they should keep for like a year or something. And that's that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.